Hello, all you little dirty bitches out there. This is Theory of Unrelativity, Episode 3. This episode, we talk about Xbox versus the new PlayStation. We talk about a few movies we've seen, After Earth, Fast and the Furious 6, and we talk about some new cell phones out and some things that you should look for, pros and cons to all these things, and some upcoming news. In this episode, I have with me again is Big Dog Josh Lampton. Almost fucked up his name. That wouldn't have been good. Also, another thing to check out is a really cool clothing company. Go to firstand26th.com. That's the number 1 ST and 26, the numbers 26th.com. They are like a urban clothing company. They sponsor skateboarders and rappers, and they're Arizona based. It's a couple artists. It's a family owned. It's 2 brothers and a couple cousins, and they make some really dope clothing. A lot of it is Arizona based, so I mean, a lot of it will say like Arizona or AZ in it, but they do make some pretty cool clothing. So go ahead and go to check it out, firstand26th.com. We'll have some sponsors soon and coming up with that. Anyways, enjoy this. This is episode number 3. Yeah, so enjoy it, bitches. Episode number 3, Theory of Unrelativity. It has been way too long. It has been... When did we do the last one? Like August?
Almost a year ago.
July or August of last year. So, yeah, it's almost been a year now. Long gap. A lot of stuff going on in between then and now. But that doesn't matter. It's me and Big Dog Josh Lampton here again.
Yeah, boy.
It's the normal. We'll probably do more than one this week because... this is probably going to be a shorter one. It's actually midnight right now, and I got to be to work at 4:30. So, you know, we're going to try to pump this one out real quick. We're going tomorrow to watch Man of Steel.
We will definitely have a review for
so
that movie.
we will definitely be doing. We'll probably have Ben Hernandez back on again, and we'll talk about that movie a little bit.
But speaking of movies, recent movies that I have watched would be the new Fast and Furious movie.
The Fast and Furious 6 was... I give it a 10 out of 10. It was...
Yeah, I easily gave it a 10 out of 10. There was some people that I've spoke to, which is only one person actually, in
out
fact,
of 1,000 million.
that have not gave it a perfect score. And I'm talking like, out of 100 points, I'm talking like 92 to 100. Which is pretty good for any movie.
Especially at Fast and Furious, because a lot of the other ones were lacking. Like, any of the ones... Fast and Furious 2 was garbage. Tokyo Drift was okay, but it wasn't quite the same, you know.
I still like Tokyo Drift more than number 2, though.
Oh, Tokyo Drift definitely better than number 2. Number 2 is the worst one. That movie was just garbage.
The thing is, though, I mean, I'd still watch it, though. It still has rewatchability for me. See, for me to rate a movie, to be in my top 10 list of good movies, you have to have rewatchability.
Oh, definitely. Like... Avengers is another one in this last year that I gave a 10 out of 10. Oh, yeah. I could watch Avengers 10 times in a fucking row.
Yeah, I don't give 10 out of 10s very often.
Neither do I.
I am a sucker for car movies in action. Fast and Furious was nothing but car movies in action.
Yeah, and I like action movies, love action movies. I'm not as big of a car movie guy. Like, this kind of car movie I'm into, I'm not into, like, if it was like a NASCAR movie. If it was, you know, some other kind of racing form, I'm not too big.
The documentary of Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, like
circle by circle.
Yeah, left turn after left turn. I couldn't do that. But this one was nice. You know, when Vin Diesel gets to do... The dude's a great writer. Like, people underestimate what he does with writing.
One thing I did notice, too, it's very rare for a sequel, let alone the 6th movie in the entire series, to be better than the first one. And that's rare. You never see that happen. I mean, maybe with Star Wars.
I'd have to put number 6 with, like, it's hand in hand with the first one, because the first one really changed. You know, the first one was great. Like, it was so good.
Yeah.
There was not really any corniness in that one. It was raw. It was real. It was the first time they did it.
I think one thing that's changed, though, since the last 3, on top of the first 3, though, Is it the first three really focused on like neon lights? I'm a street racer for life.
Yeah, this one is like you already know all that bullshit. You already know they're good drivers. You know who everybody is. It's just like real shit going on.
I think from 4 to now has been like that.
4 to now, that's what I'm saying. Like to me, Fast and the Furious was really number 1, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Number 2, number 3. And
they were just there. They were there for the ride.
Yeah, they were just kind of to link the story together. They're not that great. Like when Vin Diesel came back and he said, "I won't do it unless I have like some creative control," then they started to get good again. Then it wasn't corny. Like there's some one-liners and there's punchy jokes, but they're not overdone and cliche. They're actually funny. Like it's actually like spoiler alert. Not really. I'm not gonna get down into it, but this is said in the movie. The forehead jokes. They did the forehead jokes 3 or 4 times against Tyrese. Like, you could say that that's kind of punny and whatever else, but they were fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked really good, yeah.
The fighting sequences was all pretty good.
It was all really good. All this, nothing looked fake. Nothing looked like corny, shitty CGI fake. All the cars flipping, all the explosions, everything looked legit.
And you got to see Dom and The Rock
together.
Fighting. Which you were waiting the whole movie because there was this big guy. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie yet. But anyways, there's this other big dude. He's supposed to be the big Haas the other one.
He's a bodybuilder in real life.
And anyways, your whole movie you're hoping, you're like, dude, I hope that guy fights The Rock or our boy Diesel. And Diesel ends up fighting the main character and The Rock ends up fighting that big guy. And then...
well, they end up taking them out together.
Exactly. Yeah. It winds up that The Rock and him are pretty evenly matched.
The part where that guy steps in and smashes Vin Diesel, and he goes to smash Vin Diesel again, and The Rock dumps him, and it zooms out, and it's Vin Diesel and The Rock standing side by side, all flexed up, and then the big, huge bodybuilder and the main bad guy right across from them, and it's just like right before they smash into each other. Oh my god, I felt like it was a fucking Anderson Silva title fight. I was like, oh
it was pretty
god,
great.
it was so sick.
One thing I didn't understand, another spoiler alert, is when Han's baby girl, this time she'd be like, man, I'll save you.
And she just she could have just used one hand and grabbed that gun.
I'm going to let go on this 147-mile airplane stretch that we're on, driving 100 down in our car. But you don't think about that during the movie. You think about that afterwards. But anyways, she lets go of his hand like, I'm going to shoot this guy because he's coming up on you. Coming to find out, though, if you really think about it, she didn't even shoot him. Like, she's like, I'm going to go flying in the air.
He starts having to, he gets up and has to beat the fuck out of the guy and push him off.
She's dead. Han freaks out. But the thing is, though, you'd think, oh, man, she just shot him like 5-6 times. Yeah. He's dead. No, she didn't even hit him once. Han's like,
no, because he gets up and Han throws him into the engine.
Yeah, into the engine. And he ends up, that's how that guy dies.
Yeah.
Really, I think it was a pointless way to kill off, but I think
what happened was... It was romantic.
Well, no, I think what it was is that they had realized that, oh man, we made 3 a prequel to all these, and, well, our boy Han didn't have a baby girl the whole time, so got to kill her off sometime, but I still give it to me. It's a good movie. A lot of people give the movie shit for having the, infinity mile stretch of airplane road, but you know what, there's airplane bases that have long stretches.
The thing, I thought the same thing too, but not only that, what else I was thinking is, realistically, that whole scenario would have happened in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're driving that fast, you're fighting a couple dudes, happened in 3 minutes. But in a movie...
That doesn't make for a movie.
In a movie, if we're like, okay, we're actually going to use the length of this runway, 3-minute shot, there was your movie.
That's why,
they've got to stretch the time period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it works.
Well, I mean, that's why, like, if they were going to make a Flash Gordon movie, Flash from DC Comics, and be like, yeah, he could run really fast, faster than the speed of light. Well, literally, the movie would be over in 5 minutes. It'd be like, yeah, I had to run here, there. Had to run over here. Okay, I'm already there. Had to run here, over. Fight this guy, movie's over. You can't do that.
I think the most shit that Fast and Furious got was that it was the 6th one. Because people, when they hear Fast and Furious 6, they don't view it like I do. I view it as like Fast and Furious 4. Because 2 of them were garbage.
Well, no, not even that, but you gotta think though, when there's a good series going on, like for instance, Star Wars, you gotta be like, oh, sick. It's kind of like, to me now it's almost like a TV series. You can't wait till the next episode comes out, and every episode just destroys the last one.
Now, Fast and Furious wasn't very good. Like
4?
Yeah, it was all right.
I thought 4 was pretty good. I think it was a good starter for the series.
The story was great, but like
with Braga.
It wasn't all that super awesome. It was kind of funny too because like that was Vin Diesel's like first big movie back, and he was kind of chunky. He was all out of shape in that movie and stuff, and he didn't really do a whole lot. He held a guy out a window. That was the only thing he did that whole movie.
Yeah, it was still pretty good though.
But it wasn't bad. It set the story on it, but
yeah,
that one was like and then Fast 5 was
really brought it
dope.
back.
They brought that shit. And then when we went into Fast 6, I was like, I expected it to be good. But just with the opening sequence, when you watch that opening sequence with that
I know,
the
chills
song,
for days. Chills for days.
And you do like it shows flashbacks from all the other previous movies, and it's fucking amazing. You're like, oh man, it makes you sad almost. You're like, I remember watching this over the last 8 years or 10-year span.
Yeah.
But Fast and Furious 6, 10 out of 10. Definitely watch it. It's still in theaters. It'll probably be in theaters for a while because I just went 2 days ago and it's been out for a while, and it was still. Every seat was taken.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, I had went probably a week ago at like almost 10 o'clock, and me and my cousin DJ Donald V, we had went to watch it, and before walking in too, I was like, "How many people do you think are going to be here?" Because the movie had already been out maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, I probably went and saw it last weekend. I think it was on a Sunday. No, it was last Monday. Anyways, we went in there. I'm thinking like 4 people. It was like 14 people were in there watching that movie, and I was blown away because when what movie did we go and see? We had went and watched another movie that had just came. Oh, it was Iron Man 3.
Oh,
I had went and watched Iron Man 3. We had both went in and watched it, and keep in mind the movie had already been out for probably only 4 days when we went and watched it.
Yeah,
and we were all but 2 people that were watching.
It was pretty much
that
empty.
Movie.
In
It was empty.
3.
There was more people watching The Wizard of Oz, which had already been out 2 months.
Yeah.
Than there was us in there.
Yeah.
Which
well,
threw me off.
I just went back to Fast 6. Another time I went with a different friend. He hadn't seen it, and I didn't have anything to do. It was worth rewatching. Again, that rewatching factor.
Rewatchability.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And anyways, I went Saturday, just 2 days ago, and there was literally only like 8 open seats.
Yeah.
Like that's how full it was.
Oh yeah.
And it's been out for 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty crazy. Fast 6, 10 out of 10. Definite watch. If you don't get to watch it in theaters, definitely rent it, check it out. Another movie that I've watched. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen After Earth yet?
I have not seen After Earth yet.
After Earth, I gave like a 7 out of 10. It had incredible build up, like all the trailers for it and everything you read about it, and it's Will Smith. Will Smith doesn't make bad movies. It's a big budget movie. Surprisingly, like spoiler alert, it takes place, like a few hundred years in the future, whatever. Human race lives on a different planet now.
I wouldn't even say that's really a spoiler though, because they say that throughout
every
trailer.
But I'm just like when they show it on the other planet, and it's like the architecture and stuff, it looks really like 3D Max type shit. Like it doesn't look like wow that's real. It looks like wow that's fucking animated in the background. Like
see, that's one thing I didn't like about The Hobbit. Everyone said, "Yo, man, The Hobbit's really good. They brought back all the same actors. Great movie. Okay, well, when I play Halo 4, and the cinematics in Halo 4 are still the best I've ever seen in any video game, borderline the animation qualities of Avengers, and yet when I watched that, and I had felt like, because I went and saw The Hobbit probably not too long after I had played Halo 4, and I was watching it.
It came out like a month after Halo 4 came out.
Yeah, but I was thinking the whole time, I was like, the animated people in this movie don't even look as good as
like the trolls and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
It didn't really look like it. I mean, that was like animation quality of stuff I was seeing like back in Return of the King.
Yeah, exactly.
And the original.
Yeah, I didn't think like, especially at the very end, the dragon. Did you see it with the dragon's nose stuck out of the coin pile? Yeah, that looked terrible.
It did. Cheesy.
Looked like a fucking cartoon movie. It looked like Epic.
Yeah.
But anyways, After Earth, it looked really cartoony, and then this is the spoiler alert. Will Smith's in the movie, but he sits in a chair the whole entire movie. Like you don't really get to see Will Smith do anything, and it really was not that good. It was in the previews. It makes it look like there's like fucking dinosaurs and all kinds of killer animals on planet Earth. No, that's not the case at all. He gets chased by a pack of baboons and bitten by a poisonous slug.
Baboons.
And that's pretty much like There's it shows like all the birds have gotten bigger. Like there's birds are giant, and there's like a hybrid lion / cougar. Other than that, like there's nothing crazy, and it's just Jaden Smith crying and panicking the whole movie, and then it's really cliche at the end. You see what's gonna happen. I won't throw that out there because right before it happens, you're gonna be like the build up for it. You're like, oh, this is what they're gonna do at the end. So I gave it a 7 out of 10 because it wasn't horrible, but it was not nearly as good as I made it out to be. So I mean, that one's a watch, but I wouldn't pay. You know, depending on where you're at, I wouldn't pay the money to go to the theaters to watch that one.
So final review on that, since I haven't personally seen it, does that movie have rewatchability?
No.
Not at all?
I say no. I would not watch it again. If you rented it and wanted me to come watch it, I might watch it, but I'd probably like sit and text and fuck around on my phone the whole time.
So for me, that's probably like a 6.5.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm barely giving it a 7. The only reason I'm not giving it a 6 is because it wasn't poorly made. Like, it wasn't a shitty script. It wasn't a shitty story. It was a really cool story. The connection you feel between Jaden and Will Smith, because they play father and son in the movie, is amazing. Like, because they're really father and son. So you really feel the connection. It's just, I don't know. They made it out to be better than it was, and that's always bad for a movie when they overmarket it, and it comes out and it's not as good as they say.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jaden, like I said, like, they wanted him to express fear, and they wanted to show character growth throughout the movie. They wanted to show at the beginning of the movie, he's scared, doesn't know anything. Into the movie, he's fearless and brave. But they overdid it. Like, he would, like, panic and cry every 10 minutes. And it was like, oh, okay, this is, you know what I mean? Like, so. But it wasn't terrible. The storyline was an awesome idea. You know, I gave it a 7.
Okay, so a solid 7. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched the movie.
And it's brushing a 6. Like, I don't like to give it at 6.5s because then every movie I would ever watch would be a 0.5, and I feel like a solid number. I feel better that way. But it is barely a 7. Like, it took me a while to decide, but I gave it a 7.
All right. So I mean, not too bad then.
It wasn't. No, it
wasn't no I Am Legend.
If you went and watched it, you weren't mad that you spent the $50 to go watch it, but you weren't like you watched Fast 6 and you're like, I would have paid $20 to watch that movie.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah. After Earth, we watched it and we were like, well, I mean, okay.
I mean, I watched that, but
yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't want to lose money on this.
God damn it.
But movies aside, though, so definitely a huge topic right now is
here we go.
I think how drunk Microsoft is.
Completely drunk.
Because
for those of you that don't know, just in case you live under a rock, Microsoft Microsoft in May released their press conference for the new Xbox system, the new Microsoft system,
the Xbox One. Ironically, can't play Xbox One games, not backwards compatible.
Well, it can't even play 360 games.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what we should call this? Xbox One. But can it play Xbox One games? No.
Well, I don't. Yeah. And then, anyways, they released that in May, and then E3 was just last week, and the PS4 was released. They're not out yet. They're for pre-order right now. But the PS4, Sony outdid themselves, blew the Xbox out of the water. But a lot of the thing is Microsoft shot themselves in the foot. It wasn't necessarily okay. The Sony is sleeker. It looks better, and it's a little bit smaller. But had Microsoft made a really good console, like the Xbox One looks like two VCRs glued together.
No,
okay?
it doesn't look that bad though. I think that the Xbox One I actually think looks great. I think it's bigger. People say, yeah, you know, Xbox One looks like an old VCR. And then people are like, yeah, the PS4 is going to come out. It's going to look badass. And then as soon as that comes out, that very same day on Reddit, 9gag, all those things. Looks like an eraser. It looks just like an eraser. Well, okay, what are they going to do? Eventually, it's not like they're going to get sued by Apple for making. It's Square. You know what? Actually, Apple might sue them. It's Square, so that might be. Apple likes to sue people, but no. See, I don't know. I think people just find stuff to hate on, and I think
they're gonna find things to hate on.
I think console side by side. If you look at the specs are side by side, pretty much identical.
Well,
they have the same amount of memory, same amount of RAM.
Well, in Sony's consumer reports, Sony's going to release 4 different consoles up to you can upgrade. Sony uses the Sony computers hard drive system. You can get up to 1 terabyte of memory.
Well, another thing though that I was like, people are like, yeah, the Xbox One has all this stuff and it's gonna be $100 more. In fact, if you actually go on the website, let's say like GameStop, stuff like that, there's actually PS4s on there that cost more than the Xbox.
Yeah, well, they start at $399, but they go all the way up.
That's
to
the one thing they don't tell you. The other thing about Xbox that they don't tell you
is that's
the only price.
Yeah.
So you'll only be paying $499 no matter what. Bottom line.
Yeah.
When you buy the PS4, yes, you're starting at $399.
But you
can go up to almost $600.
Yeah, you're gonna have less memory.
That's one thing they're just not telling you, and I feel like they don't reveal that.
Well, I feel like common sense people realize that because I realize that. Like, yeah, PS3 or the PS4 is cheaper. I wanted to get one anyways. Over with what we'll get into in a minute with what Microsoft has done, but I realized that right off the bat. I was like, okay, yeah, it's $399, but I'm probably only gonna get like kind of what they did with the Xbox Connect system. I'm probably gonna get like a 4 to 8 gig.
That's the other thing I wasn't too liking. I wasn't liking too much for one. Okay, so I mean, let's go down the pros and cons for the Xbox One.
Okay, we'll do Xbox.
Okay, the pros for Xbox One, their graphics have been enhanced, which
vastly. So we went from a 520 megabyte processor, 512 megabyte processor, to an 8 gigabyte processor. That is a jump so crazy. And I mean, look at Halo 4. Look what they did with Halo 4. Well, of course, it was 2 discs.
8 gigs of RAM now is what that is.
But I'm talking about just on the Xbox 360 though.
Oh yeah.
It still only had 512, and Halo 4 was one of the greatest looking games and crisp looking games I have ever seen.
It blew anything away on the PlayStation 4, and people are like, "Yo, the PlayStation 4 has Blu-ray." I mean, I'm talking PS3. Sorry, the PlayStation 3 had that. They're talking like, all the games on PlayStation 3 come out. No, Halo blew every game out of the water that I've ever played. I play games like I'm a game fanatic. I would call myself a gamer. I play computer games. I play console games. Personally, I have over 12 gaming consoles. Handhelds, all that stuff, all combined. So I like my games. Yeah. And Halo is the best looking game I've played.
Halo 4, and so many people hated on Halo 4 because, and they do that with every Halo game because they change something.
They do that with everything.
They have to. But Halo 4, of course, I'm kind of biased because I'm a huge Halo fan. I'm a huge Xbox guy. Halo 4 was so beautiful that it was like, I was so shocked every time, even though I'd been playing the game for an hour, like the campaign, every time it would do this camera pan out from when you walk into this new area, I'd be like, oh my god, holy shit, this looks good. Holy shit.
One thing though about the Xbox One that I thought was kind of funny, I think if they didn't have all their stipulations where the Kinect is on,
that's where they shot themselves.
Here's the thing though. Little fun fact. The Xbox One, the Kinect, isn't on 24/7 because you can pause it. You can't shut it off. You can pause it. Which means the Kinect isn't listening to you that whole time. Except for if you want to say off or on. So really...
Technically, it's always because even when the console is off, you can say Xbox power on, and it'll turn on. So technically, what it's doing is it's just turning off its interaction to where it won't interact with... I want it, right now, if you use Kinect and you say, hey, can you open the Xbox and then go to the dashboard? The Xbox is going to go, oh, you said Xbox and dashboard and open.
Yeah.
Whereas in that one, it'll ignore all that.
Yeah. But if you pause it, you can't shut it off, you can pause it.
It's still listening.
Another thing that I thought was funny today is that I noticed that Microsoft had uploaded a photo. No, it was 3ds Max. It's one of the companies that animates. It's a program that animates Halo, their modeling and stuff. Anyways, they had uploaded a photo of Master Chief, and I had noticed it didn't it had a whole bunch of likes, and didn't have one share or a comment. And I thought it was kind of funny because I was like, you have so many likes but no shares or comments. So I was the first comment on there, actually. And I thought of a witty, comment on there. I was like, hey, I'd like to show my friends this, but will I be able to share this with my friends? Because some of them I haven't been friends with on Facebook for 30 days. I mean, and then they wrote me back, share away, Josh. But I thought it was kind of funny because, yeah, that might sound dumb, but that's Microsoft logic.
If you don't know, okay, now we're still going over the pros. That is the new Kinect system is kind of cool because it's completely enhanced. If you can Skype and you can
which I think Skype will be a huge advancement for voice chat on video games for one, because the voice chat on Xbox Live is the cutout fest of the century. You'll be talking to your friends, be like, this is what you would like to say. Hey man, how's your day going? It will come out as, hey, going. Yeah. It's horrible.
But Skype, and then it does like P&P, like picture in picture. Like you could be watching a movie on your Xbox, and it'll go, bloop, 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 bloop. Josh is Skyping you, and you can use your hands and do like a grab and drag kind of thing, like you do with pinch and stuff, and drag that movie over to the side of the screen, and you pull, stretch Josh's face out and talk to him, and that's really cool. Connect, you can do almost anything with the voice. You can hook the Xbox up if you have Comcast cable, or it supports one other one too.
That's the other thing. Xbox One, you have to have hooked up to a broadband connection at all times.
At all times. Once every 24 hours, it has to connect to the internet.
Well, I don't think... Okay, I don't know how they didn't think about this. A lot of people overseas, in our, military of the United States, they bring gaming consoles along with them.
Oh, yeah.
For their...
Oh, yeah, when they're on base, yeah.
So, let's say, I'm going to go out and buy the Xbox One. You guys want to play? We've been friends for 30 days. Won't even matter. You can be friends for 130 days. Well, that's the thing,
like,
if you can't connect to the internet, sorry, bro.
Here's how I game. And I'm a huge gamer, too. Unless, other than Halo or maybe Call of Duty, if I know you're at home playing Halo, I'll hit you up. Josh, yo, dog. You want to play some Halo? You'd be like, yeah, nigga, let's play.
I'll be like, no, I don't even like you. We haven't been friends. We've been friends for 28 days.
And then I have to wait 2 more days. But I'll hit you up. If you want to play Halo, then we play Halo together. If you're not there to play Halo or you're not there to play Call of Duty, I'm going to play a campaign game. I'm going to play a game with a storyline. Mm-hmm. Now get this. I don't make very much money. I'm pretty much poor, okay? I don't have an internet connection where I'm staying. I cannot play a storyline game that doesn't even have online multiplayer without being able to check in on the internet once every 24 hours.
Which is stupid.
That makes absolutely no fucking sense. Now, if you have an Xbox Live Gold and you are online gaming all the time and it recognizes that, I can see why it would want you to check in, whatever, update things. Mm-hmm. But to not be able to play offline...
See, I don't even see why they want you to check in. What's the big deal? I don't know. I want to keep track of our 4 people who bought our console because we have 74 things.
I know. I mean,
let's think if the world was like that.
Let's think about it.
Let's run PS4 logic, real world scenario. I'm a PS4. I just bought my Gatorade. Hey, man, would you like a drink of this?
Sure. I would love a drink of this.
Oh, Gatorade. Here you go. Have a drink of this.
Thank you. This is delicious Gatorade. Xbox logic.
Hey, man, would you like a drink of my new Gatorade?
I'm sorry, man. I can't because you bought that brand new, and I can't use it for at least 30 days.
Well, you know what? Now that you bring that up, I don't really want to let you have a drink of it anyways, because if I did give it to you, you can't give it back.
Or give it to anybody else after that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Gatorade decided to only have it a 1 drink to 2 drink person limit.
Here's the thing that I've been talking about.
Microsoft.
Just in our town. Okay, in our town we have a GameStop. Okay.
We have a Video Games Plus.
We also have a Video Games Plus, which is a pretty small business. There's only a few of them in Oregon.
But you know what, though? They're gaming.
Here's my thing. I love Video Games Plus. They're super nice people. They care about you as a customer.
They'll hook you up. They have the best posters. They're not just games.
Well, they sell everything. They're a fucking nerd haven. Okay? Yeah. So I'll go in there. I just bought Halo 4. We've been talking about Halo 4. I use Halo 4. I just bought Halo 4. $60. Here, man. This is brand new. He'll go. They'll straight up tell you, I'm going to sell this for $45. I'll give you $35 or $40 for it.
If it's not scratched.
If it's nice. $40 trade-in value, $35 cash. You go to GameStop. You can buy the game brand new from GameStop, leave the parking lot, unwrap it, bring it back. They'll give you $12 for it.
Huh, this is weird. This is Halo 4. Just been out for 2 days. You know what? I'm going to head and give you $3 for this.
Yeah, that's literally... So, pretty much, the only time I go to GameStop is to pre-order things, because you get perks with it. That's the only time I go to GameStop. Yeah. Now, with the Xbox One, you can only sell... First of all, the maker of the game has to say it's okay to reuse it as a used game.
Yeah.
2,
which is baffling.
You can only sell that game
that you don't technically own.
To GameStop or an affiliated company like EB Games, because they're the only real registered gaming. And once they buy it, they get like a use code to sell to one other person. Now, if you buy that used game, you cannot sell it to GameStop again. But as that being said, I can't support Video Games Plus by selling them my used games.
Yeah.
They can't even carry.
It's really what it's going to do is ruin local businesses.
That's what they're trying to do. I'd imagine Microsoft has their hand in the GameStop somewhere in there. They're making money.
See, I don't like that at all.
No, not me neither. Because the people in GameStop don't give a fuck. Microsoft at this point obviously does not give a fuck.
You know, one thing I also don't like. Essentially, I feel like if I buy a PS1 and I buy games, I'm not buying the games. I'm renting the games for $60, $70.
Yeah.
And then if I want to return them, you'll give me something that I paid in if the person said, yeah, it's cool. If not, and I'm stuck with this game. Let's say, I've done this a couple times too. I'm a guy that once I get bored with a game after a while, I'll go down to GameStop or Video Games Plus, for instance, and look around for just a co-op game, story mode game, and I'll be like, this looks alright. But if it turns out to be a dud, I usually don't like returning my games because I like to collect games. But if they're really bad, I'll be like, I'll turn this in.
I'm going to bring this back, try to get
I'm going to trade this in even if I get like $5 for it.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
No. And here's what I do. And this is, okay, so once again, this comes back to they're not thinking about everybody at all. They all make lots of money. They don't worry about it. I don't have a lot of money. I make $200 every 2 weeks right now. Okay, so what I do, and I've done this my whole life because I've always been, poor, I'll get one new game. I'll get one new game for $60. I play it, beat it, keep it for a while. Then I'm like, okay, I want something new. I can't afford to buy another game. So I go to, Video Games Plus, wherever, and I trade that $60 game in, and I can get $45 out of it, get a $45 game. Beat that game, yada yada, bring it back. I can get a $35 game. And I do that until it dwindles back down to where I can't afford a game again. Then I'll buy another $60 game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Which is what a lot of people do.
Which is what a lot of people do. All my friends, we used to do that. I'd buy Halo 4, I'd beat it. I'd let my buddy borrow it till he beat it. I'd borrow one of his, then he'd give it back. I'd trade that game in at Video Games Plus, get a new game. We'd both play and beat him, trade it back in, you know what I mean? That's not hurting because I think Microsoft's worried like, well, if people can give each other games, we're not going to make money selling them. Here's the thing. You buy Halo 4, and I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be good. You let me borrow Halo 4, because you can't even borrow games for the Xbox One. That's what's crazy. Like, I can get, like, you can't buy these games, but the fact that you can't let me borrow it, like, by you letting me borrow Halo 4, maybe I go, holy shit, this is a good fucking game.
I'm going to go buy it.
Now.
No, never mind. I just gave it to you for free. Now I have to rebuy it.
Well, not only that, but if you can't let me borrow it in the first place, I'll never buy it, because I'm not going to even think it's any good.
I mean, you could always do, because Microsoft must have a lot of people that just sit down and watch other people play games instead of actually playing.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, now, we pretty much talked about all the pros of the Xbox One. Another thing is...
We talked about all the cons.
Well, we kind of mix them in.
Yeah.
Another pro, they do have Blu-ray, but that's old news. PS3 hasn't had Blu-ray since the beginning.
It's Blu-ray.
Xbox Live's payment's going to go up again starting next year. Just pretty much just ass fucking everybody. PS1 Pros. PS1 Pros.
PS1 Pros,
yeah.
Great console. Really like it.
It's really small. It's really
Graphics
small.
are kind of down.
Yeah. The PS4 Pros, everything the Xbox did wrong, they did right.
Essentially, I mean, the console side by side are pretty much.
They're pretty close to the same.
I mean, they go hand
if
in
you
hand.
look at the size mapping, like Ben has it on his iPad. It actually shows so the blue square is the Xbox, or the green square is the Xbox, blue square is Sony, and the Sony is it's smaller. Like, it's quite a bit less wide. It's a little bit longer, but that's because when it stands up, they wanted it to stand up taller, skinny. But it is smaller, and everybody says, oh, it looks like an eraser. I really like it. It's, like, really edgy looking.
It looks pretty sleek, actually.
It's really sleek. It looks really edgy.
New edge.
The controllers are supposed to be fucking awesome.
That's one thing.
I read a bunch of reviews from E3 that people that got to use those controllers, and they said they were fucking phenomenal.
I didn't read reviews. I actually watched a review from my boys at Techno Buffalo. Watch them on YouTube. They do the best reviews to anything electronic.
Techno Buffalo is badass. Yeah,
but they did a review on the Xbox One, and they also did a review on the PS4. And what I found, that both the controllers are huge.
Yeah, well, the PS4, they're a lot wider because people were talking about your thumbs don't hit anymore. But
They
PS4 went wide and Xbox went back to almost
bulky.
The original.
Maybe that's why they're going Xbox One. They're thinking Dreamcast days.
Yeah, it is literally like a Dreamcast controller. It's very bulky.
Well, it's not... Okay. The Xbox One controller isn't much bigger than the Xbox 360 controller. I mean, it's thicker, but, you know, he said that it was actually fitting pretty good in his hand.
Yeah, well, the thumb distance is the same.
He said, you know, your joysticks are stickier. You know, it kind of has a good feel. When he went over to the PS4 and tried it out, that controller has it by a good, 2 inches on either side.
Yeah, it's thicker. They made it a lot wider.
The controller's completely changed up.
Yeah,
which is something they hadn't done. Because,
no.
I mean,
it's literally been the same exact controller. Other than the trigger system,
up is the triggers.
Other than the trigger system, it is the same exact controller. But I saw some things and some guy posted. I saw it on Reddit, which Reddit's not always
endless.
Yeah. But this guy posted a picture of him using the controller, and he said, "Thank you, PlayStation," and he had a picture of him holding a PlayStation 2 or whatever controller. And the joysticks are a lot closer together on this, and his thumbs were hitting because apparently not everybody knows how to use the tips of their thumbs.
Too easy.
Way too easy.
That's how you can tell.
Yeah, exactly. And then the PS4 picture he was playing, and his thumbs couldn't touch even with him using the middle of the thumbs. So that was kind of cool. The fact that it changes colors depending on what player you are, like the color bar on the controller. If I'm number 3, it'll be green. Yours will be blue if you're 2. You know what I mean? So that's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, just a little extra perk. It's
yeah,
cool.
That's all it is. It's just a little hidden feature.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's fucking crazy, but I like it. It's cool. Why not? It literally is one diode color different. Like, why is that not already done? Like, you know what I mean? Something that the Xbox finally has done. Thank you, Mad Catz has done it 1,000 times. Pelican's done it 1,000 times. The Xbox One controllers that come with the console, the D-pad is no longer a disc. It is a solid little cross cut into the plastic. It no longer has that stupid little fucking disc tray thing that sits on top that is on the little, that thing was so shitty. You play Mortal Kombat with that fucking thing?
No, okay, so what I hate is the newer case. So now, I don't know if you guys...
The twist ones.
Yeah. For the new Xbox 360 controller, I mean, it's not too new. It came out probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'd probably say when the rotating D-pad.
That silver one was the first one to have.
Yeah, and they had, this is going to be revolutionary. That is a hassle, and I feel like it's going to break.
First of all, it's a bitch to actually rotate it.
Yeah.
It's a cocksucker. And then even when you rotate it, it still has that dish feel to it. Like, it's not even like once you rotate it, it's solid.
Yeah.
It still rocks, and it still, like I said, Mortal Kombat, the prime example. You're like, I need to go, right, down, forward, right, B. And you're like, okay, and it's like up, down, left, right, down, up, square. And you're like, there's not even a fucking square button. How did that happen?
Baffled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it is, I guess, but...
Then again, we're bitching. I mean, everybody's going to bitch.
Everyone complains.
Plain and simple, my opinion, and this is coming from somebody who's completely biased towards, or on the Xbox side, ever since the original Xbox came out, I used to have PlayStation 1 and 2. Once the original Xbox came out, I made the switch. I was like, fuck you, Sony. All your games are weird, Japanese, dumb games. Xbox has a nicer controller. They've got Halo. I've been in love with Xbox since day one. The Xbox 360, like when they came out with the slim model, it was not even that revolutionary. When Sony comes out with their secondary model, like when they come out with their slim version, it's fucking slim compared to the original. Like they're like, let's cut this size in half.
Well, it's because every console they come out with is like
huge,
made out of bricks and
yeah, I know. Regardless, though, even if that's their marketing plan, it works. The Xbox Slim was cool for a while, but they were built out of like cheaper plastic. And god damn it, if you have a dog or a kid and they are anywhere close to the face of that Xbox, bing, you meant to eject, right?
Or off,
or turn off.
Right in the middle of this game.
Damn, I like hardware.
Driving in Forza, the dog hits the button, and now I'm not playing nothing.
Exactly. I like the hardware button. Yeah. I like that click, done.
See, because I have an Xbox Elite, the original Xbox Elite.
Yeah, so do I. That's what I have too.
And my parents have the brand new Slim with,
the 320
big
hard drive.
The 320 hard drive. That is the Ping-O-Matic.
Yeah, that thing. Not only does it ping
I'm
all the
gonna
time,
dust this thing. On, eject, off.
For whatever reason, because we have one of those at my mom's house. My mom and my stepdad have the Slim. theirs and your parents, like the Wi-Fi built into it, barely
It's
fucking
goofy.
work. They barely fucking work. They freeze up
And
all the time.
we have T1 internet out here, and
you guys have 100 megabytes a second.
We would think,
like, that's
no, dude, we have a gig.
Or a gig. That's
completely
what it is.
connected.
Fuck,
we have a gig.
Not 100 megabytes. A gig. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. Yeah, a gig a minute. That's fucking crazy.
You would think we would be hosting every game in the world.
I have like 35 megabytes, and I have fast internet.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Goofy.
And it barely works, and your fucking living room is 15 feet from your router.
Yeah. Weird.
I don't know what's going on.
I think it's the walls.
Well, the walls probably have something to do with it, because this is an old house.
It could be the outer fit. You know what it probably is? The corn CD. There's a corn CD out in the garage.
That's probably what it is.
It's just too much.
Corn with a K.
Corn with a K and a backwards R. Just turn it off.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it anytime.
Yeah.
But,
I'm thinking for tonight, it's probably where we're going to come down to an end.
I'm thinking so too, but I do want to, I want to get into this. Josh, you got a new phone.
I did. I don't know why I didn't bring that up.
I don't know why you didn't bring it up either.
Over the years, I've been through smartphones. I've started out with the classic Nokia brick. That's now I think the classified name for that Nokia. That was the first phone I ever had. That was middle school days. And I haven't.
You had a Sony Ericsson.
That wasn't my first phone, no.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have a Sony Ericsson until my third phone.
Oh, you're talking about like the rubber button Nokias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm talking
those are
black and white.
I know what you're talking about.
I could throw off the Statue of Liberty and hit Paris, France.
And it would be picked up in fire.
Yeah, exactly. And I have now came back, and I've used the Android. My last phone was a Motorola Atrix 2. I loved it. It was great. Update came out.
It was really responsive and everything. It worked really nice.
One of the fastest phones I'd ever used.
Yeah.
Side-by-side test, it still blew away the iPhone 5.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because that phone's 2 years old. For internet speeds, it was beating at 2 to 1.
That was a thing weird that Apple did. Like, they came out with, like, oh, now their phones can do 4G. Those are not fucking 4G.
No,
they
slow.
are not fucking 4G. Because,
like,
an iPhone 5 on 4G, and even a shit, like, my friend has a shit Sprint fucking 4G piece of shit off-brand Android, and it will out-internet the fucking iPhone 5.
Yeah, well, Androids, though, pick up internet speeds more than Apple.
Yeah. I honestly think that they just, like, kept the 3G and just changed it to call it 4G, but it's not fast.
But I have came around, and I am now going back to... I had a Windows phone.
I was going to say, you got to tell them you had one.
I had a Windows phone when it first came out. Not first came out, when Windows 7 came out.
That was the legit Windows phone. Like, the Kyocera ones, like the one that I had, that old keyboard, it looked like a black.
That was
horrible. It's literally like a desktop. We're not even going to go into
that. That is the Fast and Furious 2.
Yes, it is.
You don't remember it. But anyways, I had a Windows 7 phone. I love the operating system. Yeah, the market's a little weak, but you gotta take what you got. That phone was smooth sailing.
Goddamn, dude. That was the most... People say that the biggest marketing thing Apple ever had was simplicity. We make it super simple, which it is. Apple's really easy to use. But goddamn, those Windows phones, man, they were sexy.
They're sleek and they look
good. They were sleek. They had really, really good response time. The screens were so vibrant. They took amazing pictures.
Yeah, and then my hard drive.
Your mistake was you went with the HTC.
No, I don't think that was a mistake.
I think that's what it was because
it got wet though.
Remember? I know that, but it's still like if you look at if you go back and you do the research, most of the people out of all the Windows 7 phones that came out that had problems, that was the worst one.
Yeah.
Because HTC's their hardware just fucking crashes and everything.
I don't get it. But anyways, so then when that one went down, I was at a dilemma. I knew I was at a crossroads because I wanted to try something new for smartphones, and I thought I could either go the Apple route, which their software has been updated. Maybe you get one more tile on your screen than you could since the very first iPhone came out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they'd update it and make it run better, but it's looked the exact same.
Or I can go the Android route, where it's just constantly changing. But going down the Android route is a risky trail.
Yeah.
Because you will be backpedaling down a river of silly.
Oh,
you
yeah.
go down Android
you are up retard creek with a stick, no paddles.
Unlike when you buy Apple.
You know
you're getting
the
Apple.
Same firmware, the same iOS system.
And
Android will sell, you're an 8-year-old girl that made a phone out of cardboard and rocks?
We'll sell you our firmware.
Well, here's our firmware. Use it on your phone.
Or if it's Samsung, here, we'll sell you the Galaxy name. We only have 47 phones with the Galaxy name on it.
Fuck, I know.
Here, your phone could be called the Galaxy Cardboard 7.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Be cool. Have Smart Touch.
Yeah, like some of those like the LG, like the LG Optimus. Yeah, it's an LG, but like it's got so I don't know.
Stick TVs, LG. Stop with your phones? They're horrid. Screens are great.
What's the newest Android update out? What's it called? Do you know?
You know what? I don't know.
The LG Optimus. If you go buy the LG Optimus right now, even the Optimus 2, it still only has like the gingerbread.
Yeah.
That's like 4 or 5 years old. Like
no, it's not that old.
It's like I'm talking like 1.02 though. Like it's like the very like almost like the beta version.
Yeah. But anyways, my new phone, I have the Nokia Lumia 920. And I love it. Camera, it's phenomenal. That thing is just like the Nokia brick. It ain't breaking.
No, and like here's my thing. Like I'm gonna tell you my two-parter for this. I love this phone because, like you said, this
Windows
fucking
8.
thing, it's Windows 8. It's fucking solid. You could beat this thing. There's actually a video out there of a guy beating this thing with a hammer,
beating it up,
and it doesn't crack, doesn't nothing. But this phone runs super smooth. It looks super good. Like it's so fucking vibrant that you're like, I have to almost turn this brightness down because it's fucking so pretty looking. You know what I mean? It's got great battery life. You charge it like once in 4 days?
About once every 4 days. And for a smartphone, I use a smartphone.
And he uses a motherfucker. He doesn't just like, he's not like some old dude where he's like, oh, I have a phone, but I just text every once in a while.
Okay, well, let me classify that. At a 1 to 10 scale of how much I use my phone, like 1, I'm a 70-year-old that wanted to be hip, so I bought an Android on Smart Talk. That's a 1. Or on
10 being
or I am
YouTube videos
I'm
for
a
hours a
14.
day.
I'm a 14-year-old girl that texts 300 texts a second
and watches music videos all the time.
I would classify me as probably a steady 6 or 7. I use it. Whenever I'm bored, I scroll through 9gag. Whenever I'm bored, scroll through Facebook,
YouTube, whatever, Twitter,
something. Listen to music. And I have found out of all the smartphones I have had or even used, the battery life on this thing's phenomenal.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, though, it takes forever to charge it. For some reason.
The only downside to this phone, in my opinion, now it depends, everybody's got their preference for phone size, whatever else. I don't like huge phones. And this thing isn't huge as far as, like, screen. Like, it's got a pretty decent, what's the screen size on this thing? Like, 7 something?
7? That's tablet.
Oh, wait, no, 7's the Note.
Tablet.
7's the Note, I'm sorry.
7's not even the Note.
The Note's like 7.2.
No, it's not. It's like 5.3.
Not the Note 2. The Note 2 is way bigger than the Note 1.
No, it's not that big.
Because my mom's boss has got the Note.
You're talking like Kindle.
Yeah, I know. My mom's boss has the Note 2. It's like this big.
I saw it in AT&T. I don't think it's that big. But, because I was using it in there. It doesn't seem that big. But mine on the Nokia Lumia is a 4.5.
Okay, 4.5. Which, that's not bad. That's pretty normal. That's pretty standard big. For... Well, a lot of the Androids are that big now, though.
A lot of the Androids actually come standard at 4.3.
Oh, do they?
Or you can get the, that revolutionary iPhone 5 with that 4.
Yeah,
4-inch
yeah,
screen.
I know.
Huge.
I know. It's crazy. But the only thing I don't like about this phone is it's bulky to me. Now, I'm not a very big guy. I'm only 5'8". I got small hands. It's bulky. There is a different version of it out for who's it through? Verizon only.
Verizon only.
It's a little bit sleeker version. I don't know how much solid they are. I don't know if they're solid, but it's a little bulky for me. And that's the only thing that is literally the only thing I don't like about this
cool
phone.
Feature about it though that the 928 doesn't have: wireless charging.
Oh, you can wireless charge it.
Wireless charge it through. It's called like Qi charging or something like that. So obviously there's little monks that are in the back of your phone. I don't know what Qi charging even means. Maybe there's
that means it telepathically gets transported to a Buddhist monk and he prays with it.
That's what it is. He's like,
his hand.
Hold on, wait, no, find me so. Hold on, wait, no, find me so. You are charging. Baffled. Yeah. Anyways, wireless charging though.
That's crazy. Does it sit on a mat?
It's like this little. They have it in the AT&T stores if you guys want to go see it.
You have to buy it separate.
You have to buy it separate, but I think
how much is it? Do you know?
I think it's like ranges between $15 to $20. So it's
worth it.
It's reasonable.
I was thinking it was going to be $50 to $100 because if you want to buy a fucking phone case in AT&T. They're like, here's a phone for $1, and the cheapest case we have is $35, and it's not even a nice case.
Yeah. No, okay, speaking of that, so I bought my phone in Radio Shack, because I always find Radio Shack, they give you screaming deals on your smartphones. And anyways, I go in there, and I've already done lots of research on this thing. And I tell them, hey, I'm going to get the Nokia 920. He's like, okay, cool. And then he goes on to say, what can I get you to make this thing perfect for you? And I said,
well, before we go into the, did you get this, like, did you renew your contract to get this?
I did.
Okay, what did you pay to do that? Like, when you renewed, how much was it?
$40.
$40 for the Nokia.
AT&T, it would have been 100.
Okay, 100 at AT&T. How much? Do you know what the retail price is for the phone?
Retail price without a contract?
Without contract.
$499.
$499. Okay, so it's about a normal phone price.
Yeah. But, anyway, so I go in there and he's like, hey, you know, what can I get you to get this phone perfect for you? I'm like, nothing.
Just the phone.
I've already looked up. I know it has super strong
I
glass.
already know what I want.
And I pulled up my old phone. He's like, well, you're going to need a case for this and a screen cover. The same classic. I'm a salesman, need to make my quota. And the whole time I'm thinking, bro, I know what I'm looking for. And I was like, look, I have had a case on my Motorola Atrix for 2 years. There ain't a scratch on this thing. I'm good. And he's like, well, you know, the glass on this is completely different. They stole it from Samsung, which is a lie. I know he's lying there.
Yeah.
Because Motorola, they've had it for a long time. And anyways, then I'm like, no, okay, I'm cool. So finally I talk him down to that. And he goes, you know what you're going to need to buy is an SD card for this. Because the moment that I had to put stuff on my actual hard drive of my phone, it really slowed it down.
As a Windows 7, I used, with the same time Josh got his
Red
HTC.
flag. Red flag.
The same time Josh got his HTC Windows 7 phone, I got arguably, it was easily the greatest Windows 7 phone, and it's still arguably one of the greatest Windows phones ever made, which is the Samsung Focus. The Samsung Focus or the Samsung Focus S was the greatest. And since then till now, Microsoft tried to do this thing. Like the Focus, you can put an SD card in it, but it had to be a Windows Phone SD card, and they never made them. It crashed. It was a flop, so you can't put a memory card.
Yeah, and all the reviews that I was watching too, it's like this doesn't have an SD slot, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's weird. And the reviews I had watched were saying it had a 16 gigabyte hard drive. Later to find out, it has a 32. So the phone's already the big hoss. And the whole time I'm thinking, why would it slow down your phone, saving it to your main hard drive on your phone? Because what? Are Apple phones, the day you start buying apps, just ruins them?
Yeah,
like there's lots of smartphones that can't do that.
He's just trying to sell it, and
it's
not any good.
They were having a really good sale on there, and it was under $10. I was gonna get it for like $9 because they were having it was like 60% off sale. I could have got a 32 gigabyte SD card, and the whole time I'm thinking, well, you know what? Even if this guy is right, there's a good chance that, you know, if not, I'll have 32 extra gigs. Anyways, I buy it, and he's like, I go, hey, can you go ahead and put that SD card in for me? And he goes, yeah, sure. Grabs the phone, looks at it, rolls it around a little bit, and I go, there ain't an SD slot on that phone, is there? Let me get you the refund for this. And I was like, yeah, whatever, but...
he tried his damnedest, though. You gotta give him credit. But, and as like, okay, I work at Kmart, which is pretty lame, I know. Tell me about it. But I sell things all the time. I sell shit in electronics. I sell workout stuff. I sell anything that fucking Walmart or anybody else carries. Like, I sell that shit all the time. And sometimes you gotta talk them into it. And it's like, if a buff dude, like if a big buff, in shape, 28-year-old, 30 to 35-year-old man walks in and goes, I'm looking for your workout stuff, I instantly know this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about and what he's looking for.
Yeah.
If a 75-year-old man or a big, fat, out-of-shape 45-year-old logger walk in there going, I'm looking for a treadmill, this motherfucker doesn't know the difference between a treadmill and two people spinning a wheel with a belt attached to it.
Yeah.
Okay? I know this because you ain't fucking using one.
Yeah.
So then I know.
Why is it to look at it?
Exactly.
Hold this close.
Exactly. So he just buys it to hang his clothes on. Yeah. So I instantly know, like, okay, like I can talk this dude into buying the expensive one. I can blah blah blah. Not necessarily lie, but you point out things that you want him to notice, and you don't point out things you don't want him to notice. You're being a salesman. Mm. I'm not going to tell this dude that already works out every day and knows exactly what he knew what he was going to buy before he came in there. He knew what he was looking for, and he walked in and goes, this doesn't have what I want it to do. I don't want it. I'm not going to be able to bullshit him into this shitty Kmart treadmill, especially the cheaper one, which pretty much is two sticks spinning of two wheels with a belt attached to it, when he knows, no, I already know what I want. I already know what this does and doesn't do. Same thing. A 21-year-old guy walks in, I mean, you don't dress like it doesn't matter how you dress really, but when you're that age and you already walk in with a good smartphone, you tell them exactly what you want. You didn't come in there and go, well, what would you suggest?
I've never had a phone before.
I don't know. You know those things you hold to your face and you say things to people across the planet? And
I've actually never used a phone.
I don't even know what
I just use Canon String when I talk to my friends. Can you go ahead and find me a good phone?
So exactly. So he should have instantly been like, okay, this kid is young. He knows what he's talking about. He came in and told me what fucking phone he wanted. Like what did even like came into his like he just must not be that smart. What came into his head to make him think like, oh, I'm gonna talk him into this shit. I'm gonna talk him into buying an SD card for a phone that you can look at and see there's no slot.
Yeah,
you can't take the back off. There's no nothing. This dude's fucking drunk.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just goofy to me. But I guess we'll wrap this up to do a quick little wrap up. Go see Fast and the Furious 6 or rent it when it comes out. I would suggest seeing Man of Steel.
Haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it yet.
We'll get back to you.
I can't suggest to see it, but trailers look good. Everything I've heard.
We're gonna go see it tomorrow.
We're gonna go watch it tomorrow. We'll go ahead and do another podcast tomorrow. It probably won't be released till later, but we'll let you know with that. The Nokia Lumia 920.
Yeah.
It's a good phone if you're looking to try a new firmware or a new system.
Recommend Windows.
If you've never done Windows, it's really easy to use. This is the cool thing about Windows too. I was going to say earlier. Super easy to use. Really, really easy interface. It's beautiful. And so it's easy for people that really don't know what they're doing. Like, oh, it's point and shoot. Boop, boop. I want to use my camera. You scroll down through the fucking tiles on the front page and push the one that has a camera picture.
Yeah.
But if you do know what you're doing, it's an open source phone. You can go in there and create your own, you can make your own coding for the phone and make it do anything you want. Like when they came out with Windows 7, they said that. They came out with it, like when they did the Mango update, they said, here you go, open sourcing, it's an app you can download, open sourcing, bam, you can code shit. You want this phone to fucking, if I double tap the screen, it pulls up a music player, you can do that. It doesn't matter. You can code your own things, you can create your own apps for it, all on the phone. That's awesome. So Windows phones, definitely yes. They're just improving more and more. The app marketplace isn't the strongest. It's mostly second and third party apps still, but they're getting better.
They get about 10,000 a month.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that make them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's not an Instagram app, but there are Instagram functioning apps. Yeah, like I go on and I'll make an app to where you can edit a photo and add it to Instagram.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but they're getting better. They're always improving, which is, nice. After Earth was a 7, so that's a hit miss with you. I wouldn't spend my money on theaters with it.
Out of the console battles, out of right now, probably have to give it to the Wii U.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give it to the Nintendo Entertainment Center. The first one.
The NES.
Yeah, the NES.
Because I think Nintendo...
The Square controllers did it for me.
That was what it was.
Yeah. So anyways, PS4 people, PS4, Sony did it right. Sony's definitely taking this one home. I'm still going to buy an Xbox One. I will still get one, but I'm getting a PlayStation first because that's probably going to be my main gaming console. But because I'm so dedicated to things like Halo, I don't know if you've seen the new Halo teaser, but the graphics are better. That's right, people, they're still getting better. So, I mean, I'm not saying to never get an Xbox, but I'm saying don't. As for now, they might change all these rules. They might get fucked when it gets released, nobody buys it, and then they change their fucking mind.
Yeah.
So don't buy one right off the bat. Go with Sony, people. And in that, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast. I would like to say, I want to give a little shout out, and if you're into cool, like pop, like poppy, like rap type clothing and urban clothing, go to firstand26.com. That's the number 1 ST and the number 26th.com. It's Arizona-based company. A lot of their clothes are Arizona-based. It's a local place. It's 2 artists, and they draw and make all these T-shirts themselves. But not everything is, super Arizona. It'll say First and 26, but they got some really dope shirts, like some dope shit. They got some dope-ass clothing. They're constantly making new shit. You can get stickers and clothes and whatever else. They endorse rappers and skaters and, really cool guys. So not only are you buying dope clothing, but you're helping these guys out. So
And I'd like to give a shout out to Little B the Bass God.
Little B the bass god.
Just for being the 2 bass.
Just for making windows rattle all across the world.
And that'll do.
That'll be all, folks. This is Theory of Unrelativity, episode number 3.
This is the big dog J Lamb.
And this is Not Nick Cook.